when you're about to fill out your bracket, what are you looking for?
Well, a couple of things. I'm big on momentum, especially in a tournament like this one. So whoever is looking hotter at the end of the year, those are teams that I tend to be a little more inclined to pick. I like teams with good point guards because I think the ability to control a game, limit turnovers, I think that ends up making a difference. Other than that, it's all throwing darts.
All right, so let's start as we normally do.
Right.
You gave us your bracket in advance. Let's start with a potential Kentucky-Iowa State matchup.
Anthony Davis, unbelievably talented across the board. Got to go with Kentucky at this point.
All right, so VCU, Indiana. Tom Crean's got Indiana back in the tournament, but VCU in the Final Four last year.
I love their coach. I love their team. I love their spirit.
Smart.
But Indiana's too tough on this one.
All right, so UNLV, Baylor. Baylor with incredible length and athleticism.
Like Baylor. Duke over Xavier. You know, Rivers is playing great. They've got as good of a backcourt as there is.
Michigan State against Memphis.
All right.
You've always been high on Tom Izzo.
Love Izzo. So Michigan State gets through this one.
New Mexico against Louisville.
New Mexico, I think, is going to end up winning this one.
All right, Murray State against Marquette. Murray State was the last undefeated team. They won 30 games.
Yeah, but, you know, and I think congratulations to them, but you got to go with Marquette on this one.
All right, Virginia against Missouri.
Mizzou looks very good to me.
Syracuse against Kansas State.
Syracuse gets the first one. I've got Wisconsin down here.
I have to ask you a question here, because you had Vanderbilt knocking off Harvard. This is the first time Harvard's in since 1946.
Listen,
you have a degree from Harvard.
I've got a degree from
Arnie
Harvard.
Duncan played at Harvard.
Arnie Duncan, my Secretary of Education, played at Harvard. I will be rooting for Harvard.
Okay.
But it's just too much of a stretch.
Two hot teams. Cincinnati played in the Big East tournament title game.
But I like Florida State.
Won
You know,
the ACC
having won the ACC, you know, they're tested.
All right, so West Virginia, Ohio State.
I like Ohio State. I think Sellinger's terrific.
North Carolina against Creighton.
Got to go with the Tar Heels.
All right.
And Michigan looks good to me. I like teams that are hot late. And NC State, Wolfpack looked good right at the end there.
Purdue, Kansas down here.
We're going to pick Kansas, although I think it's terrific that Purdue is going to get past the first round.
Kentucky against Indiana, rematch of one of the best games this season, certainly one of the best finishes that Indiana won on the last second shot.
Yeah, and I think Kentucky's going to be thinking about that. They're going to get through this one.
All right, Baylor against Duke.
I thought about this one hard. I went back and forth. In the end, I just think that Baylor is going to be a little bit stronger inside.
All right, so Michigan State against New Mexico. At this point, New Mexico is your only Cinderella.
Yeah, but
it's midnight.
it's over for them.
All right.
And we're going to go with Missouri down here.
Syracuse, Wisconsin.
Syracuse just looks too talented.
All right, Ohio State against Florida State.
I like Ohio State.
North Carolina, Michigan. That's a rematch of '93, the famous timeout game, if you remember that.
I do. I'm old enough to remember that. I'm surprised you are. And then on this one,
NC State, Kansas.
On this one, we're going with Kansas.
Kentucky, Baylor. A lot of athleticism, a lot of length. You've got Perry Jones III against Anthony Davis. What do you think?
I'm still going with Kentucky.
Clash of styles. They're going to want to run. They're going to want to keep it in the half court.
This one, I'm going with Missouri. You know, Izzo's terrific. I think the perimeter play of Missouri right now is outstanding.
All right, Syracuse against Ohio State.
I like Ohio State.
So far we've got two #1 seeds going down in the Elite Eight.
Right.
In the Midwest, North Carolina, Kansas, Roy Williams against his former team.
I'm just a sucker for the Tar Heels. What can I tell you? I am worried about Henson. This is all premised on Henson being able to play.
Now, for the record, I filled out my bracket beforehand. I had the same Final Four. You didn't see my bracket.
I did not.
So I don't know if this is a bad omen or not, but I have the same Final Four.
Had I known that you were going the same way, I might have changed.
Let's do your national title game.
National title game is going to be Kentucky versus Tar Heels.
All right, before we do the winner,
yeah.
Year one, North Carolina, you were right. They win.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, you've gone Kansas.
They broke my heart each year. I told Self that when I saw him. I said, Coach, come on, man. You're killing me.
What are you going to do?
I am going with North Carolina. They're an older team, more experienced team.
All right.
And since they won it for me the last time I picked them, hopefully I'll be able to get a little redemption for the last 2 years. I just want to point out that last year I was doing great through the first round, and it was all downhill from there.